Konferenca je v bistvu zaključni dogodek dvoletnega projekta z naslovom Združimo se, ki je bil financiran, kot vidimo tukaj tudi na prvem slajdu, preko javnega razpisa, preko Urada Republike Slovenije za mladino, Ministrstvo za izobraževanje, znanost in šport in Evropskega socialnega sklada. Namen projekta je bil, da mlade v bistvu po eni strani izobrazimo, pa tudi ozavestimo o pomenu zgodovine delavskih pravic, boja za delavske pravice, o trenutni situaciji na tem področju, da jih seznanimo z konceptom participatorne ekonomije kot alternativo tržni ekonomiji in pa ključno in najpomembneje, da jih seznanimo z zadružništvom kot trajnostno obliko zaposlovanja, zlasti mladih, zlasti v deželah in regijah, kjer so obeti za zaposlitve slabe. Da bomo danes slišali še večkrat, zakaj je zadružništvo zlasti za mlade tako pomembno. Tekom projekta so poleg teh teoretičnih izobraževanj mladi tudi obiskali obstoječe zadruge v Mariboru in tam opravili prakse. Tudi o tem bomo povedali malo več kasneje. Zelo veseli smo, da lahko danes med nami pozdravimo tudi pomembne mednarodne goste z področja zadružništva. Bruna Roelantsa iz Mednaridne zadružne zveze, ki bo spregovoril tudi kmalu nekaj besed. Klaudijo Sanchez Baho, eno izmed največjih strokovnjakinj z področja zadružništva. Dijano Dolgan, sodelavci iz Mednarodne zveze industrijskih in storitvenih zadrug, CECOP-CICOPA, in Anderja Ečeberijo iz slavne baskovske zadružne zveze Mondragon. Vse boste pozdravljeni še enkrat, vse boste imeli priložnost slišati danes in jutri. Prav tako smo zelo veseli, ker je pač cel projekt bil nekako zadružno zaznamovan, da smo lahko sodelovali tekom projekta tudi z strokovnjaki na področju zadružništva, naprimer Karolino Babič, Centra alternativne in avtonomne produkcije z CAP-a, in pa da smo, tako kot sem že povedala, tekom celega projekta in tudi na teh dveh konferenčnih dnevih se držali enega izmed pomembnih zadružnih načel in sicer, da se pravi izobraževanja prvo kot prvo in drugo, da zadruge med seboj sodelujejo in se povezujejo. Tako da vas danes gostimo v salonu uporabnih umetnosti, s katerim upravlja kooperativa Peron. Zajtrk, kosilo in večerja sta poskrbljena strani kooperative Dame v sodelovanju z zadrugo Dobrina. Prevaja nam jezikovna zadruga Soglasnik. In pa danes večer bomo obiskali še druge zadruge, to je tisti večerni sprehod, ki obstajajo v Mariboru. Pa sem prepričana, da boste se med seboj še veliko pogovarjali, ker vem, da vas je veliko iz sveta zadružništva. Tako, program imate pred seboj, čaka nas kar rečemo bogat program. Seveda ste vabljeni vedno komentiranju, postavljanju vprašanj, zlasti ker ni pogosto takšne priložnosti, da so tako strokovnjaki kot interesenti, mladi na istem kupu in da lahko skupaj govorijo o zadružništvu. Bi pa povabila sedaj gospoda Bruna Roelantsa, ki nas je prvič v svoji vlogi generalnega direktorja Mednarodne zadružne zveze ICA obiskal v Sloveniji, da pove nekaj uvodnih besed, potem bomo pa začeli z predstavitvijo. Hvala.
Good morning to everybody and a big welcome from the International Cooperative Alliance, which is the apex organization of the international cooperative movement. The first thing I would like to share with you is that there are 4 issues which are linked to these 2 days of conference that any country in the world today has to consider as very, very important issues. A, youth. 2, work and employment. 3, entrepreneurship. And 4, training and education. I'll go through them one by one. First of all, youth. Today, never before in history, we have had such a combination like we have today of, on the one hand, such highly educated youth and at the same time such a high youth unemployment. This is something that we can see all over the world and in Slovenia in particular and in Europe, all over Europe. Work and employment. This has become a big pillar of the economy anywhere in the world, but also it's a big pillar of social inclusion and even increasingly of the meaning of life. So many people commit suicide because they lose their job or they don't find a meaning to their job, which means that there is much more to a job than simply having, let's say, an income and an activity against this income. When we talk about jobs, work, employment, we are also talking about long-term jobs, about decent work, about let's say, proper standards at work. The third one is entrepreneurship. Enterprises, and in particular SMEs, small and medium enterprises, offer the vast majority of jobs in the world in general, in Europe, and also in Slovenia. So it's a key pillar of any national economy today. And especially enterprises that stay in the country, like cooperatives, and are not controlled from outside, are extremely important in this respect for any national economy. For education and training, it is a fundamental element for both entrepreneurship, so the spirit of being able to create enterprises, and for employment. At the root of those two things, and entrepreneurship and employment, you need education and training, otherwise it doesn't work. So these four issues are first of all the responsibility of the public authorities at the national level, at the regional, local level, also international level, the European Union institutions, and so on. The public authorities are the democratically elected, let's say, delegates from the public, from the civil society to deal with these issues. At the same time, from the side of the cooperative movement now, these four issues which I mentioned are four central issues as well. So we deal with all four issues: youth, work and employment, entrepreneurship, and education and training as well. And it is logical that we do so because we are actually a big part of the civil society. We, cooperative movement, we represent 12% of humanity. I will develop these figures a little bit later in the afternoon, but just to strike your imagination, 12% of humanity, 10% of the employed population of the world, 3 million enterprises in the world, the equivalent of several countries' GDP. Germany, 7% of GDP. France, 7%. Italy, 8% of GDP. So we are, at the same time, a big, let's say, part of the civil society, but also a big part of the economy. We can say that the cooperative movement is like the organized civil society, is part of civil society organized in entrepreneurially, in an entrepreneurial manner, and in a democratic manner. So it is used to develop, the cooperative movement is used to develop through largely self-financed institutions that promote the cooperatives. And we'll come back to that. So we cannot look at the cooperative reality as a simple dissemination of scattered businesses. It's not like that. It's something that functions as a movement and as an organized reality. The cooperation between the public authorities and the cooperative movement in a number of countries in the world has proved to be an important source of development, and in particular to address the four issues I mentioned earlier. So this is also an issue that the Slovenian authorities should look at very, very seriously. And this should be done through a partnership between equals, so between the public authorities and the cooperative movement. Two actors that both, let's say, converge in dealing with the four issues I mentioned, and to do it together. Now, the development of the cooperative movement in the world, I'll come back to that this afternoon, has been very patchy, as in it has followed very strange paths in almost, let's say, 200 years of development of history. It has developed more in some regions than others, some countries than others, more sectors than others. But now, with, let's say, the advent of new communication means and the world becoming closer, this is gradually disappearing. So that now we can learn from each other much more quickly than before. So whereas before, let's say, you needed decades for, let's say, one country or one region to learn from another country and the other country's experience and so on, now it is really, really very quick. So we are at an extremely strategic moment in order to be able to compensate for these differences that have existed so far. And in other countries as well, the relationship between the cooperative movement and the public authorities has been one of partnerships. That has expressed itself through different means and different channels, but the more this has been the case, the more this partnership has proved to really construct a national or regional economy, to help develop regional economy. So not only cooperatives, but also the development per se, the development of a given territory. In this partnership, any means, any financial or other means provided by the public authorities has also proved in many other instances to not be a cost, but to be an investment. And not only an investment, but a very good investment. An investment that provides the financial return. I mean, the money that is invested comes back to into the coffers of the state at some point, and also much more than that, because the creation of jobs and the fact that, let's say, whatever wealth is being produced through cooperatives by the cooperative movement remains in the community. So this also makes us, cooperative movement, a very, I would say, trustworthy, transparent, and let's say, good partner, because we do not take anything away. We leave it in the communities, and we let also that these communities, through the let's say, creation and development of cooperatives, develop this wealth locally and in the communities. In fact, we are really the economy of the people, the economy of ordinary citizens. That's, in the end, what the cooperative movement is about. So this is why this is really a common concern of public authorities and the cooperative movement. So I would really, let's say, encourage you in Slovenia to develop this kind of partnership, long-term partnership between those two sides, the organized cooperative movement on the one hand and public authorities at different levels on the others. Thank you.